Welcome to Goonie's World. My name is Goonie, also known as Colin, and I'm here today joined, as always, by Ryan, also known as Meanie.
Hello.
And Sean, also known as Johnny Pharaoh.
Greetings, everyone. I'm ready to hunt some vampires.
And hunting some vampires is precisely what we'll be doing. Well, maybe not hunting, more like
slaughtering. Slaying.
Joining them, sort of. Now, you think you had attempted to get sort of accepted into this LARPing group by, because Benny King was going to take your sort of application, if you will, to the person running the game. And this has been, a couple days have passed since then. And, DJ has gone home, and, nobody's talking about in any serious... obviously you guys are, conspiratorially whispering about vampires and whatnot, but Detective Dwayne and the camp counselors and everybody. Nobody else has mentioned that at all. It's as far as the sort of official story is that DJ got lost in the woods and was dehydrated or whatever.
Now I did have some things that I wanted to do in the interim while we are waiting to see if we are accepted. Mainly, I wanted to see if I could. I don't know how likely it even be if they have garlic at the cafeteria. So I was going to try to get some of that.
So, yeah, I think it is perfectly reasonable for you to have snuck into the cafeteria at, what's it called?
Is it the Great Gray Horn?
Great
Gray Owl
Hall.
Yes. And I was wrong about the cabin names, obviously, earlier.
When you go back and listen, and did I get it right?
Yes, of course you got it right. I heard it. I was mistaken, and the one time I've ever been wrong, it was left in, not edited out.
Well, everybody misremembers stuff, especially when we have occasionally, and just, a little peek at the man behind the curtain. Sometimes there are several weeks between recordings, and sometimes we do 2 in a day or 2 or 3 in a day, so you just never know.
Yeah. Sometimes we do edit, but only when there's a clean break.
Yeah, that's right. But yes, I do think it is perfectly reasonable that you would have been able to sneak into the Great Gray Owl Hall's kitchen and snooped about for garlic. However, I don't think they would have, like fresh garlic. They probably have garlic powder. Yeah,
I figured they wouldn't have, the balls of garlic hanging down. Powder will have to do.
I'm not sure what effect garlic powder might have on vampires. They might also have, they have those little glass jars, like refrigerated glass jars of garlic and oil or whatever, or water.
Oh yeah.
You might also be able to find, probably also find something like that.
Yeah, some garlic oil would help. Is that an essential oil?
I don't know. I actually don't know what defines an essential oil.
I don't either.
Essential for the Vampire Hunter kit.
Yes.
So, is there anything else that either of you would like to do in the sort of day and a half or so between where we left off and where we're going to pick up?
Another thing, I actually don't know if this is possible, would be to, it would be helpful if we had some holy water, or at least some water that we thought was holy. But I don't think they would have any of that lying around here at the camp. And I didn't know if Plunger was considering himself an ordained minister of any kind.
I am an ordained minister, but I'm not an ordained priest.
Oh.
There's a big difference.
Oh, darn, yeah. You don't have that kind of power.
No, I am a minister in the Global Life Church, of course. But I don't have that sort of holy power to create holy water, no, unfortunately.
All right, we'll have to do without that and just rely on our crucifixes and...
We still have our popsicle stick crucifixes.
Yes. And you had made some toothpick kind of traps. I don't know if you still have those.
Yeah, I don't think those will be effective unless someone is barefoot.
Right, true.
And then it might only, I don't know how much it would actually work if someone stepped on, because I was picturing it as like a platform that's like that kind of styrofoam stuff where you can stick toothpicks down in it. So the toothpicks are sticking up out of it. But they're, toothpicks are not super strong or sharp, so if somebody stepped on it, I'm not exactly sure what would happen. Maybe they would just break, and maybe one or two might pierce the sole of the foot.
Pull a bit.
But then again, like I said, you got to be barefoot to do anything. But I'll keep those. Are in my backpack. I made a couple of those, and we definitely need steaks. But I think we had some that were popsicle, but I think we need some. Probably while we're waiting, we can make some real steaks out of some twigs or something.
Yeah, you're in a forest. It would not be difficult at all to find, some branches, fallen branches, and sort of. I don't know if you have a knife sharp enough to actually sort of whittle them down, but I imagine you could figure something out.
Yeah.
Swiss Army knife should be appropriate.
I would think that would be plenty, yeah. So you've got some garlic, dehydrated and jarred. And how many steaks would you like?
We better...
I've made 3 steaks.
I
have them equipped to my chest like a bandolier.
We better make however much we can make in whatever time we can, because we don't know how many vampires we're going up against.
I still am not convinced they are actual vampires. This could very well not be Nosferatu activity. This could very well be some very confused young people who have taken things a bit too far. And I would not want to stake a dozen or more of young goths.
Yes, I just want to be on the safe side, just in case they are real vampires. And I will only stake at 1/4 of my power, just because that'll be enough to destroy a vampire, but not maybe a real person.
All right, so I'm imagining these two young guys with their sort of bandoliers of stakes, and one hand with a popsicle stick crucifix, and I don't know where you got the garlic in your hand or in a pocket or what, but
Yeah. Because he also has his robot claw.
Oh, right, of course.
He's that's his biggest weapon. So he's got some. I would say he's gripping the crucifix with that, and his stake with the other hand, and maybe around his neck he can have some. Maybe he made a necklace of some garlic powder, or maybe he has that in his pocket.
Just like a little plastic container of garlic powder, like with a little, like, whatever, 2 ounce, like, little round
like garlic
Jones.
dipping sauce. Papa John's. No, just like a little, actually, if he could, get some spoons or something, he could, use that to fling it, like some plastic spoons from the cafeteria. He could use that like a slingshot, kind of.
Okay. All right. Well, with that set up, it's like not the next night, but the night after, when you are once again around the campfire making s'mores and toasting marshmallows, but not really, just literally carbonizing them as you do. And there have been some scary stories told, as is custom. And Benny hasn't been here. He must have been busy doing something else. But you do get Elliot. He's here and acting kind of. He's not really into the scary stories too much. They kind of scare him a little bit. He's a little bit younger, and he's a little sensitive to the scary stories. But Benny does, as you're sort of getting ready to just call it a night and go back to your cabin. Benny sort of approaches out of the darkness into the sort of radius of the glow of the dying fire. And he sits down and says, "Hey there, Plunger. Hey, Dickey."
Greetings.
Hello.
I suppose you bring word from the Grand Master?
That's right.
You've had your vote then?
Well, I wouldn't say we voted on anything official, but they would like to meet you.
Yeah, I bet they would. Well, I guess that's our only way in.
Very well, lead the way then.
Well, we can't go right now. It'll be a little bit later. I'll tell you what, boys. I'll come by your cabin and give you a little secret knock. Be like this. And that's how you know it's me.
Okay.
All right then. We'll play it your way, Mr. King.
All right now, you can expect me. Probably about 11:30.
All right, we will have to make sure we are sneaking out effectively. We can't be followed or alert any of the patrolling guardsmen.
Alrighty then. If you're sure you're ready, I'll come and get you, just like I said, and take you to meet the group. How's that sound?
We were born ready.
All right then. Well, you boys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you here in a little while. he says, and disappears once again into the darkness. And Elliot, who has overheard this, says, "You're not going to go with him, are you?"
Well, we have no choice. This is what men do.
Right. But there's no need for you to endanger yourself in this operation. You don't have the training.
No, you're far too green for this mission of ours.
I really don't think you should go, but it's up to you. Of course, but it seems really, really dangerous.
Well, Elliot, there's something very important that you will need to do. This is my conspiracy journal. If anything should happen to me, you need to mail this to Melvin Grubb at the Hargate Federal Penitentiary in Nevada. Do you understand?
Melvin Grubb, Hargate Penitentiary.
Yes, their instructions and the address is on the interior of the front cover. An envelope that's glued to it. It's very important.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, you tell Maria that I loved her, and I always will love her. And my death can't change that. My love will echo for eternity.
Dude, you met her once.
We had secret rendezvous together, and you don't know about those.
Well, rendezvous, that sounds kind of hot.
Oh, yeah. Smooching was going on.
Well, I trust you guys. You know what you're doing, so I'll mail this to Hardgate, and I'll tell Maria that you love her if you're sure you want me to. But
right.
It's not it's not going to be necessary because it's not right, because it's not really. It's just like you guys are going to be fine, right?
Well,
one can hope so.
Yeah, we go in never really knowing for sure, but so far we've always prevailed, so...
Yes, we've survived worse than this.
Yeah.
All right, he says as he starts to... You gave him the conspiracy notebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, he grabs that. He takes it and slides it under one arm and kind of sulks back in the direction of the cabin. You coming?
Of course.
All right.
And it's going to be probably, a couple hours before Benny is scheduled to show up. Is there anything you would like to do in the interim?
Meditate.
Practice my staking.
I'm doing a meditation technique that the Buddhist monks used to use before they went into battle. It's a special type of Buddhism. It's not well known.
I wish we had I wish we had a copy of that. Well, I guess we still have the photos we can look at of the Mass Charade player's book or whatever. And maybe we can get some clues. If they are playing a game, we want to make sure we know the rules, and then we can apply our own rules when they least suspect it.
Yeah, so kind of what I was what I was planning on doing really was just making shit up. Like whatever seemed like it would fit the moment. That's the power that is being invoked, and then mm-hmm. I'm hypnotizing you now. Roll a d6 or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we have some battle Buddhist meditation and some staking practicing going on, and right around 11:30, you get a knock at your cabin door, which I have already forgotten what I the secret knock that I did 5 minutes ago. So
Cut
I
and
cannot
paste that earlier.
exactly. You have to
knock.
cut and paste it.
Yeah, well, I think that's him. I think it's time.
Let's do this.
Now, one way to tell if it's a vampire is to see if Benny wants to come in before we head off. We don't invite him in and see if he... Well, it's not going to work. Let's just go.
Let's just go.
So you open the door, and Benny is standing outside with a bit of a smirk on his face. As he's almost constantly smirking. He's just a smirking asshole. And he says, "All right, you boys ready now?"
Of course, I was ready 3 hours ago.
Yes.
All right.
The question is, are you ready?
Oh, yes. I'm so ready. He says, now just follow me. And he starts walking off into the woods.
All right.
And you walk for quite a ways.
While we're walking, I'm looking out for owls because even though we're deep into this vampire business, Dickey really wants to see an owl, so he's gonna, make some checks, some I don't know what kind of roll that would take, brains or whatever.
Yeah, I think brains makes perfect sense. Say, owls are pretty common. You probably only need like a 4 or 5. Call it 5.
Okay. And I rolled an 8.
All right, yeah. Well, actually, you do spot an owl sort of sitting on a branch high up in a tree, sort of looking down at you. It's sufficiently dark that you can't really tell what it is, but the big glowing eyes in the tree just give it right away.
Jackpot. Check it out, Plunger.
Oh, that's a beauty. It's a beauty. It's a real beauty.
Oh,
Good eye.
so majestic.
Oh, yes. So mysterious and wise. Like me.
So, you are led through the woods, and Benny ignores the owl business completely, of course. He is not quite as interested in owls, unfortunately. But he stops, and you feel like you're pretty close to Prospector Pond, but he stops you and pulls out a couple blindfolds and says, "Now you wouldn't mind putting these on, would you?"
Oh, is that necessary? I mean,
Yeah.
even if you do blindfold us, we know these woods so well. We know the terrain. We'd be able to tell exactly where we were just by the sensation on our feet. And
I have no fear of the blindfold, as I through superb training, my other senses are allow me to find my way about merely by the feel of the air on my face and the smells and sounds. You may do your worst with your blindfold, sir. As my colleague says, this is our woods, not yours. These are not the pines of Georgia or whatever it is you're from.
South Carolina.
well, they probably have stupid, deciduous woods there, not these magnificent, tall trees here in the northern California.
We'll play your game. Feel free to put on your blindfold.
So, are you going to put them on then?
I will.
Yeah.
All right. Well, he once you get them on, he grabs each one of your hands and puts one upon each of his shoulders, to kind of lead you the rest of the way. And you walk a little bit further, a couple more minutes, and he says, "All right now, how about you? Well, it's probably most appropriate for you to get down on your knees, and then remove the blindfold when I tell you."
So, as we're walking, I did want to try to secretly take out my compass and just to see what, because he is kind of full of shit when he says he knows, these these
right,
woods.
Right.
So he wants to know at least what direction they're heading. So I want to, and if I fail, I'll also get a adversity token. So see if I can pull that compass out.
Let's see. I mean, I guess that would probably be grit.
Okay.
And I have to scroll between these fucking pages. And I will say what you roll will determine the degree of success.
Okay. I rolled a 6.
So you're pretty sure that the direction you were led from the point of putting the blindfolds on was to the north, which would be in the direction of Prospector Pond.
Okay. All right.
And you can hear what sounds like a fire crackling and some... Now, I assume you guys got on your knees as requested, and you hear, and you can even feel like kind of the radiant heat, sort of coming off of what must be some kind of small fire, and you can hear a couple voices sort of murmuring, discussing something. And then Benny says, "All right now, why don't you go ahead and take off them blindfolds?"
All right.
All right.
And when you take them off, you see that you are on your knees, of course, sort of next to this small pond. And it's not particularly large at all. And there are 3 people on the other side of it, standing behind a fire. One of them is Benny. One of them is this dark-haired girl who looks to be a bit older, but is not Tracy. And as well as sort of another kind of older goth-looking dude with he's like more punk rock than goth. Really, he's got like a leather jacket and almost the sort of kind of guy you might expect to hang out like with Derek or something. "All right now," says Benny. "This is our little group here."
Greetings.
Dickey and Plunger. This is Kendra. And over here, this is Mark.
Kendra and Mark.
That's right.
Okay.
Are either of you Egyptian by any chance?
Did he ask if we were Egyptian? Says Kendra.
I think that answers my question. Thank you.
Yes. Well, it's a pleasure to meet your acquaintances. I would prefer to be called Bot Boy from here on out. As you can see, I am armed, no pun intended. I am half robot, and I am also half vampire. Good vampire.
Yes, and I shall be referred to as Dr. Otto von Hammer, the fearless vampire hunter. And we've come here to learn more about your little game. It appears our friend DJ found it quite overwhelming.
Well, what would you like to know, boys?
Well, first of all, we were the ones that found DJ. We discovered his almost lifeless body inside of Sabretooth Cave. If it wasn't for us, I don't know if he would have made it, or maybe he would have been turned into a bloodsucker himself.
He's under the impression that someone slipped him a Mickey.
Well, that's most unfortunate.
I don't know what a Mickey is.
Well, it's because you're not up on 1940s detective films as I am. I've written a treatise on the subject, as you're well aware.
Oh, yes.
Now, you're telling me that you boys found DJ. Now, are you sure about that? He says, and starts waving his hands around in an attempt to hypnotize you.
Fight it off, Plunger.
And
I'll speak my mantra quietly in my mind.
And I'm just gonna have it be a very simple D6 versus D6 highest wins, and he rolls a 2.
I also have a 2.
Oh my God! I rolled a 1.
Oh no! Yeah. So, are you sure about that? You sure you boys found DJ?
Oh, well, we thought it was DJ. Was it? You're playing tricks on my mind. Well, maybe it was a doppelganger, or maybe it was a robot.
Maybe it was a dream.
Maybe it was a dream. No. Maybe.
Since I tied him, I'm going to interpret that as just barely even listening. You know what I mean? Just repeating my mantra.
Yeah, a tie is neither a success nor a failure, so he does not succeed in hypnotizing you.
Plunger, you need to give me this spell, clear-mindedness spell.
I'll slap him. Fear is the mind killer. You shall not be afraid. Clear your head.
Ow. Yes, I see it's all coming back to me now. Yes, you have no power over me. I saw what I saw.
We are servants of the secret fire. Your powers are meaningless here.
Oh, well, that is most unfortunate, says Benny. Well, I'm not sure what I should do about you, he says.
Well, you need to answer for what you've done to DJ.
But Dickey, I didn't do a thing to poor DJ.
Mm-hmm. You've been acting coy this whole time we've known you. Just kind of denying everything, but with that little smirk on your face.
Yes, it's not so cute anymore. Also, DJ said that a girl, an attractive woman, slipped him the Mickey and was leading him off to play your little game. Was it you, Kendra, who slipped him the Mickey?
I have no comment, says Kendra.
The honeypot of this operation is quite clear.
Yes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Kendra, is it, how many thousands of years old are you?
She just gets this, like, slow-growing grin on her face.
That many, I guess. And, was it Mark? Or Matt?
Yes.
Mark?
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, that's me. bro.
Yes, so, are you, who is your master? Who do you serve?
Well, like Kendra. We all serve Kendra, man.
I see.
Well, perhaps Kendra would be interested in this, and I'll pull out one of the popsicle stick crucifixes.
All right, well, Kendra hisses and throws her hands up in front of her face.
Oh, she doesn't like that. Oh, no.
That's right, the power of Christ compels you.
Oh, no, she says, and Benny jumps into action and says, well, did you know there really is an owlbear here in these woods, and I can control it, he says, and
Impossible.
begins attempting to summon the owlbear.
Okay.
Okay, we gotta take action now.
I counterspell
All right.
by moving my hands in the opposite directions of what he is saying and attempting to speak whatever he might be speaking backwards. I counterspell.
All right, roll a d6 against it. He rolled a fucking 1.
6.
Oh.
You're counterspelled. Take that.
Oh, curse you, Plunger. That owlbear. I need that owlbear.
I'm Dr. Otto von Hammer, and I shall not be trifled with.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Hammer.
And that owlbear can't save you now.
Damn you. Damn you all. So it's kind of combat-ish, but it's not really combat. But anyway, Benny tried to summon the owlbear, air quotes, and Hammer successfully counterspelled. What would you say, Botman, or what was it?
Bot boy.
Bot boy, yes. What would Bot boy like to do?
I am going to charge up my arm for extra strength, and I'm going to warn them that in just a few minutes they will be powerless against me, because they are not strong enough to face this robot claw.
All right. So is there like a stake in the claw, or?
No, it's just the claw right now.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm afraid of that claw there, Bot boy.
Well, you better get afraid of that, because it's gonna hurt.
Now, you have one chance to save yourselves, and that is to tell the truth. But to help you do it, I cast Mystic Truth of Azathoth.
Oh.
Forcing you, compelling you to speak honestly
All right.
about these dark goings-on here at Owl Camp.
All right.
Listen, bloodsuckers, you'll tell us the fate of DJ. How did he end up in the cave with bite marks?
All right. Oops, I dropped my D6 on the floor. All right. And Benny rolls a 3.
Oh no, I've rolled a 2. Curses.
Well, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that, as I've already told you repeatedly, says Benny, who then proceeds to say, transformation form of wolf, and then gets down on his hands and knees and begins growling. But he's not obviously a wolf, he's just Benny on all fours.
He's lycanthroping in front of us.
We must attack the master.
Yes.
Where do you think you're going, girlie? Get over here.
What? No, she says.
I'll stalk towards her, with the crucifix. The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you! Over and over and over.
Well, the wolf, Benny, snaps and growls at you as you approach.
Take the wolf, bot boy. I'll deal with the master vampire.
Yes, I will take care of this mangy wolf.
All right, what are you gonna snap at him with your bot arm.
Yes, it's made of pure silver, which will destroy this werewolf.
All right. So, let's see. Body roll, perhaps?
Body roll.
Is it not? Oh, fuck. See, I have to scroll through the fucking goddamn PDF again to find the fucking
brawn
fight.
Or fight.
Oh, fight. Yeah, fight.
Well, that's pretty low for me, but which just makes sense. I'm a nerdy 12-year-old, so I will roll a d6.
Well, and I'm gonna have Benny actually make a fight roll as well. So if you beat a 3, then you will beat his roll.
And I would like to suggest that Plunger, who failed his last roll and would have gotten a token, that he give me a token for this. Unless he wants to save it, he might need it.
No, you can have it.
So that will at least give me a +1, I would say. So, let's see. God damn it. So I rolled a 1, so with that would have made a 2. Would be a 2, which is not what I needed.
Well, the snarling and snapping Benny King evades your bot claw, but you do manage to distract him sufficiently that Dr. Otto von Hammer has been able to, approach the leader, Kendra.
Yes, and you leave me no choice, Kendra. I hereby invoke the ancient and holy power of the Stink Finger. And he's going to put his hand down the back of his pants and put his finger in his butt and then go try to, put it right under her nose.
It's too powerful, Plunger. It's too powerful.
It's the only thing that's left to us.
You'll knock us all out.
Smell it. Smell the Stink Finger, bloodsucker, and call off your creatures of the night.
All right. Well, she does not have a... I think this is going to be another sort of a post-fight roll, but she's only got a D4, and she rolls... Well, she rolls a 3.
Okay. Yeah, I got a D4 fight, so let's see here. Well, I actually also have a 3.
Well, that's a tie.
So I guess we struggle.
Yes, I think that's fair. She is
locked in mortal combat.
You cannot escape.
She is not completely phased as you would have hoped from the Stink Finger, but she is suitably disgusted. And indeed, Mark, for his part, seeing this madness playing out before him, turns and runs into the deeper into the woods. You don't know where the hell he's going.
Get back here, coward!
You can't run from the Stink Finger.
I can, bro. I'm out here. And
well, he's the smart one. These other two will face our power.
So Benny is going to attempt to take to fight with Dickey and take a bite out of him. He rolls a 2.
All right. You got to be kidding me. All right. Well, I rolled a 2 as well, so I guess that's we're struggling against each other now.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well,
makes it more dramatic that way, I guess.
Kendra says, I'm invoking the power of flight, she says, and begins running around in circles, and apparently an attempt to fly away from the Stink Finger.
Curse you.
Yeah, so that would be you guys a chance to do additional stuff.
Well, I hate to do this to a girl, but I will sweep the leg.
Oh, my.
No more games here. This is no longer a game. Hey, I've got an actual 4.
And she rolls a 3, so she trips and falls onto the ground.
I'm sorry.
And,
Don't apologize, Plunger. She'd do the same to you.
what's Dickey gonna do? You just whack Benny with your silver robot arm again?
Yeah, because he's convinced that's the only thing that will hurt a werewolf is silver. So he will take a swipe. And I got a 3 that time. I don't know what I needed.
You needed to beat a 2, which you did, because Benny rolls a 2, so you connect with your silver bot boy arm.
Oh,
and
taste silver.
Benny says as he collapses onto the ground and writhes around. Not silver, he says, convulsing.
Now you see what has happened to your thrall, your servant. Now, Kendra, this is no longer a game. We have people who are actually hurt. If you really don't know what happened to DJ, then perhaps there is a vampire here who is not playing a game. Have you ever considered that?
She sort of gets up on her knees, and you can see that she's kind of scraped up her elbows in the fall, and she's not crying, but she's not happy.
Okay. All right. Before anyone else gets hurt, why don't I make a peace offering? And then maybe we can find some type of agreement. And Dickey is going to try to stealthily pour some garlic oil into a can of marshmallow fluff.
Okay.
Travesty, sacrilege.
It's
too great a sacrifice.
And so I guess I would probably need a roll for that. I don't know what I would need a roll for that.
Yeah, I'm scrolling back up.
There really isn't a good, like, agility or dexterity type of, like, analog, I don't think.
Yeah, there really
Maybe
isn't.
flight, I don't know. I don't know if that's, like, the same thing.
Yeah, flight's probably the closest, to be honest.
Alright. Now, I do have pretty good flight. I got a D12. So, it would be a 10.
Oh, snap. Well, that is quite good. So, yes, you quite surreptitiously managed to spike the fluff with garlic.
Please forgive me. Yeah, okay. All right, Kendra.
And I'm going to assume I didn't notice that either.
Yeah, I mean, that be whether you wanted to or not, really.
Despite what I said, yeah, because Plunger no longer believes that they are vampires. He's just playing the game now.
Right.
I think Dickey wants to believe they're actual vampires, but I don't know if he really believes that or not. I think he likes pretending.
We're 12. Our grasp of reality is sometimes fluid.
Yeah, I think he likes to pretend, and sometimes he forgets what's real and what's not real. Mm-hmm. So, but he will offer this marshmallow fluff as a peace offering
to Benny and Kendra, both, or
well, I think to Kendra, and yes, Kendra, would you like to have a bit of marshmallow fluff. It's very tasty if you've never had it before. It's a favorite of ours.
Well,
And what's all, just maybe just talk a little, that's all.
Well, you hand her the jar, and she scoops some out on a couple fingers.
There you go.
And puts
Yeah.
it in her mouth, and makes the most foul-looking face.
Aha!
And
You don't like garlic, do
spits
you?
it out. I don't like garlic on marshmallow fluff, you fucking sicko! She says, spitting.
Yeah, but you especially didn't like the garlic. 'Cause it burns, doesn't it? It burns your mouth.
I believe that garlic would have had a much more terrible effect on a living vampire.
Well, she's coated her mouth with protective saliva or something.
Friend, it's time for us to face reality. We may be playing a game, but there is something else here in these woods that is not playing a game. If you all did not flip DJ and Mickey and take him to Sabretooth's cave and bite his neck and draw blood, then who did? You're the vampire experts after all, apparently. You tell us.
Kendra looks over at Benny, who is still, by the way, kind of, playing dead on the ground. And
You're not fooling anyone, Benny. Get up.
And he slowly, as Kendra's gazing at him, sort of gets on his hands and knees and then sits on his butt. And Kendra says, I think I just got to tell him, Ben. I don't think you should, Kendra, Benny says.
You better start talking.
Well,
It'll be easier for everyone in the long run. The truth will set us all free.
well, look, we just wanted DJ to believe that we were really vampires,
So, you are guilty of this.
Well, yeah, sort of. But I mean, it was just a prank,
The prank has gone too far because a gentleman who could have been an owl aficionado is now forced to go back to his loveless home where his parents did not want him. And it is all your fault. So I want you to think about that next time you look in the mirror, Kendra.
Yeah, I just went too far. Sorry, Benny. Yeah.
Games have consequences.
And did you ever think that by really biting someone's neck, you could actually invoke the magic of the vampires and create a real vampire?
No, it wasn't even a real bite. It was just, some corn syrup and food coloring.
I see.
I don't know. That neck was inspected. Not by me. I think, Plunger, you inspected it.
Well, I checked for his pulse. I didn't want to inspect it too closely lest I contract a necrotic infection of some sort.
Yeah.
So I kept my distance. But I think we've solved this mystery. And I imagine we could be persuaded to forget your little indiscretions, provided that you give me your phone number, Kendra, so that I could possibly call you to consult you on vampiric matters in the future.
Yeah, okay, sure, yeah, okay.
All right.
I mean, I do know a lot about vampires, but, I mean, just like pretend vampires. I don't know about, like, real ones.
You are now banned from these woods forever. But,
barring the policies and procedures of the Council of Great Hooters Owl Camp, of course, which may require that they stay here till the end of Owl Camp.
Maybe Benny, but this Kendra, do you even go to Owl Camp?
No.
I didn't think so.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
Well, what do you do in your summertime?
I just like hang out and stuff. I mean, play these games and run these games and stuff. Hey, where did Mark go?
Mark.
Of course, he's run.
Yes, it was too much for him. He couldn't handle it.
He could not handle the power of the stink finger.
Yeah, that was pretty gross, dude.
Well, as far as I knew, I was dealing with a Coptic Egyptian daywalker, and I needed to use every tool at my disposal, even the stinky one.
Well, she turns around and starts yelling, Mark! Mark!
Well, if there is something out in those woods, we don't want something to happen to Mark.
Mark could run afoul of the owlbear, who I'm afraid is all too real.
Yeah.
Perhaps we better go after
now
him.
You've put us in a predicament. You've put our lives in danger, especially Mark's. But maybe you better stick with us.
That's right. Are you coming, Benny, to look after your comrade?
Well, I suppose it wouldn't be right if I didn't.
I suppose not. Mark! Mark! Mark!
It's okay, Mark. It's all over now, Mark. It's all over.
So you guys spend a good period of time trying to hunt down Mark, but you never do manage to find him. Although at one point, as you're just traipsing through the woods and hollering after Mark, one solo bat does fly out from you don't know where, low, kind of over your heads and into the darkness.
You see that?
Vampire.
That was definitely a vampire bat, or a...
Ferratu.
Yes. Exactly. Mark was the real deal this whole time.
He was the vampire all along.
Wow.
And with that, I think that will wrap us up. Possibly a slightly truncated episode in length, but I kind of thought the last episode was going to be the last one, so to milk another hour-ish out of it was pretty good.
Yes. And next time we'll be back with something completely different that we haven't even decided on yet.
Very true.
So, we will see you next time. But until we see you again, beware of the darkness, my friend, for vampires are everywhere.